Hi, everybody. Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe. And we're welcome to Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com, boys. As we do on a Friday, the day before, the night after, or the day before, we do the David Moyes press conference. Obviously, we play Bournemouth on Sunday. We have to forget about yesterday. We have to forget about it. We've got Bournemouth on Sunday in what could be probably a crucial game for us to confirm or worsen our relegation fears. No, not they wouldn't confirm or worsen. No, you to worsen or lighten our relegation fears. Away to Bournemouth on Sunday, we'll be having all the pre-match stuff, all the bits and bobs in terms of the interviews and the starting 11s and the watch-alongs, all coming up in the next couple of days. So make sure you don't miss anything we do by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notifications so you may have any time I put new content on. So let's start with team news. That's the important thing. Team news for Moyesy. Let's see what we've got. He just said that's the wrong one. That's the one I need. That's better. No, I don't like that. Let's do that one. He says, I think everyone is okay. The medical team will feedback to me later today. Hopefully we're all fine. There we go. Thank you and good night. Thanks, Moisey. So, by the looks of it, we should have a relatively fit. So I think to me being there, Antonio hobbled off. I won't be surprised if Danny Ings comes in for Antonio on Sunday, and Antonio's on the bench or maybe even rested completely. Potentially, he did get quite a few knocks. But obviously, we had the fortunate thing of we could take with 20 minutes to go, 32 minutes ago, take off the likes of Declan Rice, Ben Rama, Zuma, give them all rest. So I expect them three to be starting on Sunday. But obviously, as always happens with the immediate press conference after the European games, they won't have had a training session or a full training session until later in the afternoon anyway, I'd imagine, and that will still be a light session to be fair, because it's a recovery day, so he won't actually know until the medical staff tell him. So as you know, the press conference in two sections, you have the embargoed and the broadcast section. The broadcast section probably may include some of maybe people who could have the knocks and things like that, maybe, but we'll keep an eye at that. Asked about yesterday. Great day, a great evening, had by all, apart from if you're a Ghent fan. But even they seem to enjoy themselves. And that's what I think about the European games. The reason why I think the atmosphere is so good is the away fans give it. And when they give it, the West Ham fans want to give it back, and it just works. And fair play to them. Those Ghent lot were chanting for about an hour onwards. It was crazy. But anyway, after the Ghent game, it's always nice to reach the semi-finals of any cup competition. So it was really enjoyable to see the boys playing well, scoring goals. We can park it for a few weeks. Now focus is on the Premier League fixtures, and that's a really good point. Obviously, we don't play again until the 11th of May, the home leg with the return leg at the AFAS Stadio on the 18th. So we've got 3 weeks now. We've got a lot of Premier League games still to play. Obviously, we've got Liverpool next weekend, next week midweek at home as well. So 2 good results in that could see our Premier League survival pretty much guaranteed. I still think whoever wins on Sunday will be guaranteed Premier League football next year. Because even if we win, I know we go to 35 points with the goal difference. That's almost like another point as well. So I think, and if Bournemouth win, I think they'll be guaranteed survival next year as well. Obviously, one of the main talking points was me and Holly and Anton did the ratings at lunchtime, check them out, but was Declan Rice. He was my man of the match, and obviously the amazing goal. Asked about Dec, he said, I think when you're 23, 24, what Dec is, you should be going and learning all the time, coming back and feeling better about himself. He's been one of the standout players for England over recent seasons. He was asked how much would it cost a team to buy Declan Rice, and he just said, I've spoken about it before. Didn't want to talk about that at all, but obviously there's been a lot of pressure on Moyesy, a lot of pressure on the team. The last game and a half, I think, has some have said papered over the cracks. Yeah, it has, but I'm enjoying that being papered over, to be honest, at the moment. We haven't had much to actually cheer about recently. So asked about pressure, he just said, I think every manager has a level of pressure. There will be 1 or 2 teams in the middle bands trying to get into the higher level of pressure. And you're totally right. For everyone from I think anyone who's in I think it's about 13th downwards in the relegation battle, and anyone probably about 10 upwards is in the battle for Europe potentially. So there's only about 2 or 3 teams, but they're not really playing for anything at the moment. And obviously we go to Bournemouth on Sunday. Asked about Bournemouth. He was very complimentary about Gary O'Neill, former West Ham player. He said, I think he's done a great job. See a really good team. I think we're just about safe, and he's done a really great job. I think we're still in a group, still trying to get points with Bournemouth. They've had a good run in, and we'll get points. You have to give them a lot of credit on how they're doing. I think at this time of the season, we're trying to find ways of picking up points, momentum. It's not as if we're trying to. It's not as if they've just beaten lower teams. They've beaten Liverpool and Tottenham, ran Arsenal close, showing good signs in terms of Bournemouth. And they are Bournemouth are probably the inform of that area, of that sort of section, I'd say, at the moment. So it's going to be a tough game, that's for sure. But I think the momentum of Thursday, of yesterday, will help us, definitely. And I think it sort of carried on from the Arsenal game, albeit the sort of little defensive mistake which led to the goal. We just bossed the rest of that game, particularly the second half. Absolutely, ran and ragged. Could easily be 6 or 7, to be honest. And it should have been, to be fair. And that would have been amazing. Asked about form and stuff like that. He just said, since the World Cup, our level has been much better, which it has. But from a low base already, Mr. Moyes. We're scoring more goals and we need to keep them up. Although we have just scored more goals in the Europa Conference than we have in the Premier League and played 3 times as many games anyway. With Thursday's game on, I might make changes on Sunday as you've got fresh players available. You have to see what we've got. And obviously we do play again at home next Wednesday. So Sunday, Wednesday isn't a great turnaround. So I think there will be a little bit of movement. I think the likes of maybe Fornals, maybe Downs. I think Ings comes in. I think obviously Fabianski goes in goal. I think maybe Cresswell comes in. He's been playing the last couple of Premier League games. We'll be doing our selected 11s, which I think will be quite interesting. But with that in mind, interesting to see that sort of that thought process he's sort of spoken about. So anyway, that's it. That was it. Really, really short. And the day after press conferences are always so short because there's not really much to talk about. They haven't had the recovery time. They haven't had the analysis, the report back from the medical team just yet because things have to, knocks and bruises have to be sort of taken down. Like, for example, last week with the Arsenal game when Ogbonna and now Vergeerd, they were sort of ruled out, but we didn't really know they were ruled out really until afterwards when he said, yeah, they took knocks on Thursday. We, obviously because the press conference has happened, we haven't had that sort of anything that fed back. But anyway, and that's it, my friends. Go back and listen to the ratings and agree and disagree and all that type of stuff. Check out needsatmamabrand.com, all the great stuff the boys do there. And until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. Keep the faith. Come on, you Irons. Let's finish the season strong. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.